Morning Express on this Friday. It is the 15th day of May. My name is Sophia Wanuna. Being joined now by Eric, Oshin, and Adhiambo. It is so good to see you guys. I missed y'all.
I missed you too.
You missed me?
It's all right. We'll show you.
I've been calling her.
Oh,
she doesn't answer her phone. She doesn't reply to her text.
She's been answering mine.
Have I?
She was out of the country.
I was out of the country. Yeah, on Fridays
I'm
kind
50 Shades of Grey.
Out of this.
It's been
50
3
Shades.
Fridays.
I watched
Actually.
It's been 3 Fridays. No, not 4, 3.
Yeah,
but
many
I've missed
Fridays.
y'all so much. Kisumu.
Yeah, I saw
one of
you
the
taking
Fridays was
selfies
there.
with governors.
Yeah,
Okay, that does not
Powerful.
even that does not even sound good. But how are you guys keeping?
Not bad. I can't complain.
What have you been up to?
Oh God! Apart from getting stuck and stuck on traffic.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How has your experience been?
It was crazy. Myself and a friend of mine were attempting to go to Tamambo in Karen.
When was this? Monday?
When was it?
No, it was Tuesday.
I called. We spoke with Adhiambo and I was complaining about it. I think on Tuesday, and we left Hurlingham at 5 in the evening, 5:30, because our reservation was for 7 p.m. And we drove all the way to the junction and stuck there from 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2:30 a.m. Only then did we manage to turn, and then we drove back to the junction and stuck for another hour. So I was getting back home at about 4 in the morning.
So what were you doing?
We just, we reclined the seats and slept.
And the car running?
No, we switched off. Nothing doing. Both sides were blocked bumper. You couldn't turn, you couldn't go back. I think a mat on our extreme right was trying to overlap and it fell. And there was so much. Yeah, a huge bus, not even a mat.
It's good for some of these crazies. Because, other than, our issues with drainage and stuff, a lot of the mess and the madness was just these overlappers and the very selfish people on the road.
And I remember the ongoing vehicles had barricaded the oncoming vehicles. So it was a nightmare.
Then,
it
just
was
all
so
Did you have any crazy experiences? Or were you like me, just managed to stay above all of that and watch it from home?
Yeah, luckily I wasn't caught up in it. But my boss, same thing, left the office at 5, got home at 4. Some people's cars are swimming. The photos we've been seeing on social media, places like Densprit, near Yaya, South Seas.
My director says she loves your dress.
Oh, totally, thank you.
Yes. You look lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah, my
Just for you.
friend also got stuck. So what was interesting is she was so scared because, again, on Ngong Road, she was alone in the car. So she had this huge thing, like a blankie she'd bought. So she tried to make it look like a person and put it.
Oh gosh.
That is really funny.
No, because to try to look like there's somebody else in the car, because were these guys just walking around.
Oh, there's so many people, by the way. That was actually scary.
It was scary, yeah.
Those guys were just walking
around and you don't know what.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No,
so she tried to make it look like there was someone next to her.
Dear. But then, I mean, for me personally, I actually did get home on time. The unfortunate situation is that my daughter didn't. And I thank Red Cross, really, because they did save them eventually. When you see it on social media.
This is a Makini school bus.
Yes, Makini school bus, but my daughter doesn't go to Makini. She goes to St. Hannah's, and their bus was just the one you're not seeing because it was slightly smaller.
All right.
And when they called us earlier, they called me, of course, usually you'll be called. Yes, what's happening. And then I said, everybody's stuck, so it's probably just normal. So I didn't know that that is how it was looking until I saw it on social media. But that was also until 4:30 a.m. when I received a call from Red Cross. And those questions can really alarm you. Oh, hi, are you Mama Nani? This is Red Cross, huh? And Red Cross when they call you, okay, walk
but then what were you doing until 4 a.m.?
Just really waiting because they said, let me tell you, they told if everybody can't move, if you can't move, and you can also see that there's no way you can move, and you really don't have a canoe like the Braban school guy. And you don't have a chopper at that point. You're trying to call everybody so you can have a chopper. But also, their school is always very responsible. So you just sit there and saying, you know what, it's what could you do? I can't swim through it to go and get me. So I just really sat.
You must have been worried sick.
I was worried sick, but I just sat. And then, unfortunately, the electricity also went like at midnight. Kenya Power at that point decided everything is wrong. So I got her in the morning. And I think it's about time we realize that Red Cross really does do a good job.
No, but they do.
They do a brilliant job. I'm indebted to them. I mean, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. The memes are out about the other side of the story. I read one in the morning, and one of the guys wrote, "Ati axe na boats za South Seas inachukuliwa wapi." That was so funny. Ati boats za South Seas inachukuliwa.
Yeah, there's this one about when you get to the South Sea stage, how you get off your matatu, and it's people diving off a pier.
Oh,
like it's hilarious.
And the pool party
so creative.
Yes. So the pool party. I saw the picture of the pool party. Yeah, Kile.
In Kilelesho, yes, I saw that too.
Pool party.
I saw that too.
I mean, Kenyans trust them to always just find a way of.
But it's been like a week of those, and the Kikuyu word of the day, Luo word of the day, those things. It's just been a very fun week on social media.
What's the word of the day that caught you?
Mine was Luo word of the day, my son. Yes. Nahitaji Yesu, my son mwangu.
Oh. My son mwangu.
I love it.
Well,
Nahitaji my son mwangu.
I read, did you see the sulfite one?
Yes.
Yes.
Sulfite, yeah.
Sulfite was, I didn't see it.
Don't play with me or Tieno because we sulfite.
Sulfite. Oh, but who comes up with these things? Anyway, yeah, so it's been a crazy
social media.
Early first 2 days of the week.
Yes.
Those were sad, but also just the tragic part of guys, losing their lives. I mean, that was
that was sad. That was extremely
that was really
like in South B, one of the walls
that came down
collapsed, and about 10 people died.
Yeah, and that appears not to be a way forward in terms of clarity of what to do and what must happen to ensure this does not happen again. It's like we're just sitting ducks waiting for it to.
But what happened? Did the drainage all of a sudden just block? It never used to be like this. We've had rains before.
We have, but this is heavy.
It's really heavy.
They say this is heavier than 97 El Nino, although they're not tagging it or branding it El Nino, but it's been quite heavy. But still.
It's like it just got blocked, or like somebody put...
No, guys have been building on the wetlands,
There's that.
High, huge buildings. So I think Nairobi is not getting flooded. The river is trying to make its way, and then it's finding buildings, and then it's like, okay, let me use your path.
Yeah,
so that's what it is.
It was so sad. There's a guy who died in his car.
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
I read about that.
Died in his car?
In his car.
Why couldn't he leave and run?
I know. I guess you're like, oh my gosh, she's like, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
Was it panic or was it, because I think
it could be anything.
Yeah, because people can panic.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about Mother's Day last Sunday. Did you all do anything special for your mumus?
What did I do? Not much. My sister.
Did you at least call?
I called my mother and we bought a cake, wine, and chocolate and flowers. But I didn't see her, so my sister did that. So yeah. But I called her and we spoke. After reading a very heart-wrenching piece by Biko.
I told you that day,
By?
Biko Zulu.
So in fact, I really called her.
Because Zulu the Biko.
Okay. He wrote about?
Earlier, not before. I think for him it was just, your mother will break your heart. It's a really good piece.
Yeah, it is. I called her so many times after reading. I'm like, Mommy.
So for those who do not read, give us a breakdown.
It's really just sometimes, the way if your mother is alive, mine isn't. The way if your mother is alive, maybe you just see the call. And because, of course, she'll be complaining about 1,000 things, this, she wants. So you probably say, I'll call her later. I will take it an hour later. I will do this and that. But you see, you do that because you imagine she will be there forever. But then, according to him, she will break your heart because your mother will not be there forever. One day you will return that call and she will not be on the other end, and other things would be able to happen. I know that because that happened to me several years back, and now there's nobody to call. And so therefore, if you did have a mom, then you really needed to do something. But on a good note, though, I had really a fun time with the important people in my life who awesomely did make my day. And my daughters, of course, I am, of course, that mom will break their heart at some point. So it was really interesting. Of course, wine and chocolate, and yes.
So lessons in not taking your mom for granted, like taking that they're around now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's easy to slip into that, like, oh no, there she goes again. Oh no, does she want? You know.
Yeah. And also the other people. What I realized when we were going through like the social media or just like the people in the news, there was somebody who was complaining that all these guys are busy saying, "Oh, my mama," and you're forgetting the women who have delivered children for you. You know, because they're mothers, the women in your life who have your children. I think I was particularly very impressed with what Kaka Sungura did. I mean, Rabbit. He has these two baby mamas.
Yes, thinking
Kaka Sungura of the books. Confirm that Kaka Rabbit is the rapper. And he has, you know, Kaka.
He has two baby mamas.
Yes, he has two of them, and really what he did that day is actually to thank them for being good mothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Wahoo, Nameless, got her crying. I don't know if you have some of those videos, Joe, will show you what he did. But before we get to that, Oshin, someone was criticizing people who will go on social media, say Happy Mother's Day and all these things, and not call their mothers. Yes. So who are you telling, in essence? You get like, you're putting up all of these posts.
I saw those posts as well. I saw one about, don't forget to wish your mother Happy Mother's Day on every social media platform that she's not present on, but don't call her. And that was hilarious to me, because that's what most people do. I think we've become that type of society whereby it's more important when somebody sees you doing something than when you actually do it. Yeah, so things like Mother's Day and all that stuff, ain't nobody got time to go on Instagram, oh, dear mommy, I love you so much, blah, 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 hashtag best mother in the world. My mom is here, can spend time with her, I can tell her I love her in person.
It's okay to do that, but also when you to tell her, share these special moments with her, but not just that, and then you're like, for my own self-conscious, I've done it.
Yes, we become public holiday or holiday
Yeah, we become very pretentious.
Yeah, and we jump onto social media in the, in the slightest opportunity possible. And I think a good chunk of people, like from the wee hours of the morning, everybody was going on about Mother's Day, oh, nothing like my mother. And some I know have had serious problems with their mom that they're very reluctant to
just call them out, be like, where?
You know, so
I know.
Come on. Stop pretending, you know. And they make you look weird if you don't post. You're like,
I know you feel, you almost feel like, I don't have my mom.
You really don't have
but that's exactly it. It's a fear of missing out.
Exactly.
Like, would I look like I don't love my mom if I don't
There is a hashtag that came out right after that, and I think it went, does your mother know? Did you see it?
Yes, I saw that.
Does your mother know?
Yeah.
Which is very important, and that's, you know, gets us back to reality, like really.
Yeah, you know.
All of this hashtag.
You know, I loved that hashtag because you see, there used to be a song like that. You remember? Yes. Does she really know?
Those guys are Chonga Viazi. That's their name.
Let's have a look at Wahoo's Nameless's treat for his
family.
Mother, his family. Yes. Like how we all now looking at the screen.
We're finding. Oh, what did he do? Ah, there he is.
That's Village Market.
Ah.
Yeah.
What did I say? Nameless to Wahoo.
Where is this song?
Oh.
Yo, babe.
Is there sound?
Wow.
Where is this?
Village Market, the food court slash entertainment area.
And the reason I gotta do this is because I honestly don't get a chance to say this often. I see it every day.
Isn't that so cute?
I see how you
that's their kid.
So big. Yeah, to me,
bring
so
up our
big.
babies. I see how they love
really
you.
nice.
I see all the work that you do in our home. Every day I notice it, but I don't get a chance to say it every time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looks
like
so
that
it's
was
for granted.
beautiful.
But this is a
Steve
good
Harvey
time to just say, babe,
what did Steve have to do?
when I see how
tribute
you and my
homage
babies
to his wife on his show.
we bring back up our babies.
My friend showed it to me on Facebook. So he told the wife, "I'll come for the show. We're going to celebrate Mother's Day. La la la. I'm sure you'd love it." And so the wife got all dressed up, put makeup on, went. The whole thing was a facade. It was all about his wife and telling her, like, before he got into "You're a Good Mother," he was telling her about how she's a good woman, how she's transformed his life. She's introduced him to all these new things. Like, I was a rich man, but I was a dumb man. You introduced me to so many things.
Traveling.
Blah, blah, the traveling, and you opened up my life and my mind and my eyes and everything. You're a good mother. And she was crying, and he was crying, and it was so,
Yeah. And
I tried crying to that clip. My friend texted me and said, just watch it with some tissue. And I was forcing myself, like, which part will I cry?
Like
just
but
a chick thing.
no, it is.
I was like, and it wasn't coming.
So weird. I didn't sit and try to see. Oh,
I didn't look for an emotion in something. I was just like, I repeated it 4 times. I was like, okay, which part should I find? The part for going to France and that part of money?
There. At that part where she dubs.
She just had to.
I don't know. I think that's why Father's Day is not as prominent as Mother's
It will be this year.
Okay, so
fathers do not cry. They're just like, okay, cheers.
Mothers, we celebrate them. Let's move along. I actually wanted to get your thoughts on the song Nerea by Sauti Sol, because we actually had a John Allen hosted them, I think, a few weeks ago, just after it had come out, the controversy around what it is, you know, the messaging, vis-a-vis the discussions and what some people feel, their values, and feeling like they're now pushing it down people's throats. What do you think about it?
Nerea is very personal to me, I have to say. I was sitting once, let me tell a story, a quick one. 2 years ago, I was sitting with Bien at my house, and we spoke about abortion. And I was telling him a story about this woman who made the man very, very sad, and because of having gotten an abortion behind the man's back. And he said, pause. Bien is very creative. He said, pause. Then he went to my bedroom for 30 minutes, I kid you not. Then he came out humming. He says, nimepata song. Then he went upstairs, played it on a keyboard. And 2 years ago, Nerea was born. So I think it's a very beautiful song. I saw guys who are pro-life and pro-choice arguing about it. But I think the message is just very simple, that, you know, I am a guy. I know most guys would, turn their backs against a situation of this sort. But I'm requesting you not to abort. So I love it. And the rendition and the ballad and the symphony and the voice, it's very rich. It's a beautiful song.
Oshin.
It's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful message. I don't understand why people who have access to a keypad or a keyboard have the need to argue with every single thing that somebody outputs. How did this become an argument between pro-choice and pro-life people? Like,
but
you're
I watched the discussion, and this lady who came out with stats about what's really been happening. And her argument is, when you look at the people who argue on the other side, there are situations that get you to abort. There are all these arguments, and perhaps you had some of them.
Fine,
rape and all of that.
They weren't talking about that type of situation.
No, what
this
I
was
think,
a personal song.
What for me, I think, Sophia,
where do you draw the line between personal and there are, sorry to cut you short, artists who have this platform, so it's not, they're not singing unto themselves. This is a public.
Yes, but then again, the song is not telling you as a woman of any standing not to abort. They're talking to this Nerea person. It's just a song.
It's actually a personal plea.
Yeah, it's how people always go like, Beyonce really and Jay-Z are gonna break up. Look, she's singing about,
for me,
blah,
it's
blah,
a,
blah.
It's
a song, it's
creativity.
No, but unfortunately, the thing is this. Really, this is Sauti Sol. If they bring something that has talkability, then it is actually really nice that they've allowed that conversation to continue. So whether they're being personal or not being personal, the fact is whatever wasn't being talked about is now being talked about.
Which is a good
and then
thing.
there are other people who, of course, are on the other side of the fence. So as Sauti Sol, you don't go and sit there and say, no, this is no. Continue the conversation. There is talkability, and it's good. There are people pro, there are people against it, but in between there, and I said this last week, and I said it the other week as well, they probably will have an answer. There will be probably something else coming out of Sauti Sol.
The answer is also as personal.
So Oliver Madenga is a journalist at the Star newspaper. He's a writer.
He's an editor.
He's an editor. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. But who writes as well? He's still a writer. Wow.
Let me get that straight. Does an editor edit what somebody has written?
No, he writes as well.
I mean, of course, he began as a writer.
He's still writes.
And he's a really great writer, by the way.
Anyway, what happened with him and Joki Shege? Tell us. Wow.
I think this is like, I'm like, okay. No, here's the thing. Joki Shege usually, just has a very nice way of putting nasty things out there. And right now, I think Kate McKay, who writes for the Nairobian, must be trying really to push it. I didn't realize it was about Oliver until I read Kate's updates.
Okay, so what's the story?
The story, I think, is Madenga got married.
And there's Madenga and his beautiful wife.
And he has been, I think, overwhelmed or really in love, or truly, I think maybe he's just really truly in love. And he tells, I think, every detail.
He shares.
You know, he overshares, according to maybe Njoki Chege now.
What do you mean every detail?
I mean, oh, now we just woke up. We are now having breakfast. Oh, kupikia bibi ndio team kupikia bibi, whatever. You know, those many battalion of hashtags that the Twitterati world and the Instagrammy world and.
Oh, that's not the wife. That's Chege, right?
No,
this is Chege.
Right.
We're interplaying the pictures there, so this is him and the wife. Yes.
Yeah. So it began like it was okay, but then.
So she was saying he's sharing too much. He shouldn't.
Yes, ideally.
Did Oliver respond?
So far, no, but there have been innuendos in different forums. You know, media people are in different forums most of the time together, so you actually would be able to see what people are saying. Many people who are in media have been also now a little bit sharing, so that then it looks like even they are they're doing this. I saw Nzao just the other day also saying he's now swimming with the wifey, you know, towards work. Like,
okay. Eric, what do you think? Oversharing? Do you follow him on Instagram?
No, I don't. But I know Oliver. He's a great guy. We met a couple of times in pubs. So, look, if I'm married to somebody and I want to share everything about, you know, her cooking or walking or now she's braaiing, or now she's making her hair, I think it's fine. The problem I would have is dating Oshin and sharing too much, then dating Adhiambo, then sharing too much. It becomes a bit, you know, weird. But if we've done the naturals and I love her and I want to express it through, so let him be. Yeah. You know, but come on a date watu.
He's a self-proclaimed Baba Selfie. I follow him on Instagram. I've seen his pictures. And let's just say I know a lot about Oliver just by following him on Instagram. And I mean, you'll get to know someone by their pictures, but you get to know quite a lot.
But again, we are different, you know. I wouldn't do the exact same thing that Oshin does. She blogs, she writes about very interesting poems and whatnot. If I find it appealing, bingo.
So Oshin, is there too much? Is there that, you know, as he was saying, that there are people who you'll know when they've broken up with a girlfriend and when they've gone on to the next girlfriend, because now those pictures will cease, that will be the new girl. You know when they're up, when they're out. Like, you'll know where you can kill them if you're
by the way,
you know where to find them, and everything is
there. Square just checked into KTN Morning Express
is there. So do you think there's too much?
There is too much. I personally know a couple of people. Sometimes I just go through their Instagram and I'm like, why am I still following you? Like, please just but then I'm like, no, but you're my friend. Yeah. Then it's too much, yeah? Like, I don't need to know every little thing about your life minute by minute, which is why I love Facebook. You have the unfollow option. You can still be friends with somebody, but you can unfollow them, so you don't get their updates. You can still message them.
You could do that with Instagram
all
as well,
that stuff.
by the way.
Really?
I'll show you how.
But I think people who do that, there's an issue, something.
But Sophia, let's really be honest. Let's be honest. It's too much for who? Who is it too much?
For everybody.
Yeah, I feel like it's.
I'm sure the wife needs
cry for attention.
It's so high school. It is so high school.
Issue.
You know.
I don't know.
And especially, like you said,
if we are married and you don't mind, if you are married and you don't mind, and I'm like, look at Bear in the morning. Bear making breakfast. Hashtag wow wow wow. Hashtag eggs.
Hashtag we're going to sleep
hashtag
now.
Tomato that has been grilled. Hashtag oh my word.
I love that hashtag game. I play it all
their own. We shall end to that. To each their own. Oliver, you have a beautiful wife. Good for you.
Keep flousing. Hashtag kuflos nayo.
Hashtag Jerry.
Tunapendana.
Yes. So, Eric's gay is now a grandmother.
Yeah, I saw that.
Narikos gay.
Emmy.
I saw that.
That is beautiful news.
I think she's not a grandmother. She's a glamma.
That's the new phrase. I thought it was guilt.
I don't get why people are fussing about it. So what?
Yeah,
like,
so
what's
what? The guy.
Because it's not like now we are realizing he was way older and had kids.
The guy is obviously older than Emmy, and Emmy's a lovely person. I love her to bits. So what if the guy had previous relationships that are bad, child, and now plus really that is not Emmy's grandchild. So the story grandchild by virtue of being married to the guy.
And it becomes a story because she's not yet a mother and now a grandmother.
But there were rumors earlier on that she was expectant. What happened to that?
I know. I also had even actually somebody was saying she's given birth.
What happened?
No, she hasn't. But I think she's going to be around. Perhaps what we really need to find out is to get her so that we can be able to confirm her plans with regards to having a ban in the oven.
Really? Like, how often are you? I didn't even find out her plans.
No, you didn't. No, did you see what they said that?
And she doesn't overshare.
Oh no!
Oh God!
No,
but I think sometimes people really overstep.
They just said, "Oh, the Viagra."
I love this. This looks so lovely. Look at them. Okay.
Love translation.
Yeah, they look very happy together, mashallah.
They do, and we wish them all happiness.
Amy has a beautiful heart.
And she's so beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
She's so
I love Amy.
It's a beautiful list. Let's move on.
Really?
What is it? I did not. So inform us.
Inform us.
No.
See what I did there?
Remove the. Okay.
So at the gay list has appeared where?
It appeared in the Citizen. The other,
the gutter.
Yes, the gutter. But now you can't say anything is gutter because the blogs are gutter. You know, they're more gutter, but then people still follow them. So yes, there was an entire list of people perceived
to be homosexual,
alleged to be
so prominent people.
Yeah, prominent people. I think some people in the city. I think even the Chief Justice name is there. Who's this guy who writes for the names? I mean, they just said they're alleged. It's not like they are. I mean, they're alleged. I'm sure those people are pissed wherever it is that they are. The only person that I'm sure is not pissed is Binyavanga because really he's openly so he is actually there. But I think probably like again he wants to really kill everybody because he also found himself in that list. And then this the dean of the one who actually writes on Sundays in the Standard. What is his name? The dean from Buffalo. What's the Mutua? Macau. Yes, yeah. Macau.
All right.
Mutua.
But the guy has big kids.
I mean, I don't think being gay has anything to do with So it actually really was there. But as we said, it's alleged. There were even others saying those who were lesbians. I don't quite remember. But it was there. Also, what I'm not understanding.
Look at that shot of her on screen. Doesn't she look cute?
Yeah.
Oh,
look, she's trying not to blush. Oh my God, Adhiambo, you're so cute. Hashtag cutie.
So cute.
Thank you. But then, but now that you're talking about the gay things, there've been in the recent past. There's been a lot of talk to do with accepting gays in Kenya.
Yeah, because when the court allowed them to have this association, and then people came out, even the church, saying you are allowing them to associate or have these groupings, and yet in law it is something that's not recognized, allowed. So how do you allow congregating of an illegality?
I'll say two things very quickly. I've been accused of being gay in the past by one woman. Yeah.
You have what
she said to no, I don't know why she brought that up. We were hanging out with a bunch of friends, and then I was trying to holler at this chick. And she said, "You're confusing me right now." Oh my God, this was about 5 years ago. So I said, "What do you mean I'm confusing you right now? That is a weird statement." And she said, "Come on, Eric, drop it. I know."
You're gay.
I'm like, "You know? What do you know?" And she said,
"Oh my God, you're so good."
So when I dropped her off, and then I think 2 days later we were chatting, and she said, "You're so confusing. I don't get it." I said, "What do you mean I'm confusing? Could you just tell me?" And then later on, she said, I can't tell you who told me, but I was told by X that you're Y." And I said, "Wow."
Wow.
So we should take those allegations with a pinch of salt. Sometimes somebody can really. I was just lucky I'm not a Chief Justice, and it's not going to torment my image. And it was said by one person.
Yeah, so not many.
But imagine if the rumor was spreading out. And everybody would be looking at me, "Oh my, you're gay." So I'm not gay. Number two, I don't know. I understand very little about. I understand very little about homosexuality, but I don't find the urge or the need to demonstrate or to come out per se and say, I am homosexual. It's just, I feel as though a heterosexual person like myself, or as guys would say, oh, I prefer these positions and drumming it on people. It's not necessary.
Oshin, what do you think?
You know?
About the gay list or about being gay?
No, about the association, the fact that the court had this ruling and everyone coming out and saying...
I agree with you. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you're allowing something that is not recognizable under your laws to have a congregation. It makes absolutely no sense. But then again, when has Kenyan law ever made any sense?
Okay, let's get into the Pulse. Remember, you want to grab yourself a copy of the Standard because in there is the Pulse. And this is one story that was trending. It was so hilarious. The hashtags, the tweets to Mwirigi. So this is S, who's a fashion blogger. Yeah, she also works at Capital FM. Got engaged. So beautiful engagement, I must say.
Very, oh my God.
So awesome. Obsessed. There's a chopper. There's this beautiful place they're in. And yeah, then all guns were directed to Mwirigi because he liked her. Yeah,
he had a very public crush on her.
He used to like what, Twitter or something?
No, a crush. You know,
like a very public crush on her.
Page 7.
Mwirigi is also quite big on social media, so I think people picked up on that very fast. But a lot of people had big crushes on what's her name, Sharon. I have so many friends who had big crushes on her, who were also big on social media. So I think Mwirigi was the one that was zoned in on.
So the biggest.
And it was so hilarious. And the other day, after last week's show, actually, he tweeted me and he was like, oh, I know, I met someone the other day who has the biggest crush on you. And I wanted to tell him, bigger than yours on Sharon. I was like, okay, no, be the bigger person here. I was like, oh, really? Thank you.
Yeah. Your thoughts on the story?
I think it's just nice. It's a good follow-up because we did talk about it before. It was just really... and it's good that he comes out. You know, when your crush moves on, you also move on and find somebody else to crush on, or somebody will crush on you, I think.
I like that this guy went through the trouble of getting a chopper and flying all the way to...
The trouble?
Thank you.
Why are you making it sound like...
No.
No, of course. I'm sure it wasn't a piece of cake. Unless it's very loaded, eh?
No, that is very good that you said that.
The thought, just the idea that you do.
Like he's doing something different. Most people do it at Tamasha. Check it.
At that point, is he even coherent?
By the way, oh my God.
And then says, Sasa.
Are you serious?
Okay,
no.
But actually,
no, that cannot be.
Can we just
not? No. Can we just say a silent prayer for anybody who
actually Kenyan men don't?
Who has proposed at Tamasha?
They just tell you something.
How would you propose? How would you propose?
I don't. I think it's quite expensive. They all exercise. I'd look for a lot of money prior to proposing, and then maybe do something.
No, I think it depends on the woman.
Yeah, the life after proposing and the wedding.
We talked about this before. You know, I'm not such a
Solo, you remember what Solo was saying on the matter?
Solo. No, that's what I was telling him. Thank you.
We are grateful that the because Solo.
Solo was like, what was that? Oh, he probably doesn't even own the chopper. Or like, does he even own land?
That's what
who has to propose in a chopper that they own?
That's just sour grapes right there.
He just needs to, right? He also probably had a crush on
Sharon.
We should do a hashtag for Solo.
I should not be misquoted. I'm sure somebody's going to say after the show, who the heck does Eric think he is? Tamasha is also a place we can propose. So you can propose wherever.
No, it depends on
just agree that you will not propose at Tamasha. When it's Tamasha, people can go buy an egg. What's their problem?
All right, the Nairobian. The headline story, sex crisis. School-going girls as young as 12 are put on contraceptives by parents more concerned about unwanted pregnancies, not HIV. So Kenyan moms injecting kids with family planning. Shocking that this is happening these days.
There's a time I was on a shoot and someone on the shoot started talking and she was telling us about her daughter. She said how she has this amazing relationship with her daughter where they can talk about everything, and the daughter just says, oh mommy, you know what, some of the teachers at school like touch us, and she was like, what? And she's like, yeah, sometimes like when there's day trips, but then they only touch the bigger girls, So the mom didn't want to alarm the child so that the child could continue to confide in her. So she was like, you know what, babe, let's go to the kiosk and get some milk. She just wanted to get out of the house so it doesn't look like it's something so serious. Like we're just talking, we're walking. And this is the funny part, she goes like, oh, you know, so-and-so who's in class 7. Yeah, well, she got pregnant by this boy who was in class 8 and her mom took her to remove the baby.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So these things do happen. It's scary. That is a girl in class 6.
I know of a family that had their 12-year-old daughter at, can I name a school? No, I can't.
No,
right?
don't.
No, this is at some school.
Yes, so she got pregnant at the age of 12 by an older student, and they were both expelled. And we're just having this conversation with my friends, I think 2 weeks ago, and we were wondering, as a dad, if you were a dad, would you speak to your son about using a condom at the tender age of 9, 10, 11, 12 to 15. Most of my friends were like, yeah, I talk to my daughters all the time about contraceptives and whatnot. I'm like, at 10, I would kill them. And then they're like,
yeah, well, of course, I think me and you can be really good parents at the same time, because truly,
Please, we are all for hookup. Oh, I mean, like, get married.
You know,
you're not going to have sex under my roof.
No,
like,
it's
really.
not possible. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
whose child are you?
Who is your mother? Yes. You were raised. You are
So these parents are more concerned about the
image.
Image.
Will say this because, like you say,
the scene that's visible.
You'll say, "Oh my God, what happened?" So you go and put
prevention and not cure, man.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not that type of prevention though, not contraceptives.
But
like,
I think
before you even get into the activity itself, don't. You're
Which
so
goes
young.
down to having these conversations with your kids, being comfortable
it's just
enough.
parenting. You know, it's really taken. You know, it's gone off.
Instilling the fear
it's
of
completely
God.
gone off. But parents are no longer there.
The
Everybody is busy looking for money.
And they come home.
Yeah, and they're easy. And then the kids are watching whatever they want. And you're not talking to your husband. And you're not talking to your wife.
I agree with you that people are busy. But I am perhaps really busy as well. But I am parenting.
Yeah.
And I don't have an excuse
How old is
for
your daughter?
something that's happening. She's 12.
So have you had that sex conversation?
Many times.
Okay.
Yeah, it is one of those things that we must be able to discuss, and so that she really does know her body well. She really does know who cannot touch you like this and who can't. My other daughter is 5, and we have these conversations. So the issue of being busy, I think it's just a way of us saying, you know, and then later on we'll come back here and the story is really different.
Yeah.
You can, and the reason why you are even lucky enough to have those children, you're not special. It's a blessing that they're alive and they're there. And if you can't make them be able to live, what the hell are you doing? It's really, that's not, it's not an excuse. But that
From
is
a
sad,
mother's
though.
mouth.
Yes.
Well said. Thank you, guys. Stay on. We are going to continue after this short break. We were going to talk international, what's been happening there. So don't go away. Morning Express continues shortly.